And what's really gets you so emotional is that why he built it, you know?
Once at night, he shot a deer, and the deer is a mother, and there was a small how do you call that? Yeah, her son or whatever it was, and he would stand there, not move from there. So, and you know, light is falling on them. At the jeep, we had a jeep or something. The light was falling to their eyes. The eyes are shining, like, you know. My father felt so bad. He said, "I'll never shoot." You know, because you can see like they're teary eyes,
scared,
green, and
like Bambi.
And they are stand still. Like,
really, this is what happened.
What about the one where the wild boar hit the jeep and it slipped and things like that? I remember that story.
But much more interesting was, this was, we were in Shahjahanpur.
Holy shit.
Oh, I love that. Do you? Middle of the ceremony.
On our way.
John Cena's music hits. We walk in.
Say hi.
By that time
Why is she getting
They would be hiding in the forest, and then, you know,
anybody passing, all they'll attack, take away this thing, attack villages and all that, these kind of things.
Like Fulham Devi.
like Sholay, you seen Sholay? Sholay, the movie, like that.
They were like these groups of gangs that would hide in the woods and then they would attack people and take all their
They would
stuff.
go
and
attack
stuff like
They will
villages.
show like they are going to arrest them, but actually they are going
that. Oh, okay.
So once this Mr. Bajp, he was a big hunter and all that. He shot a lioness. Because I am telling you all this because I saw whatever happened. That was really means at that time I was already 14 years or something like that. So I remember very clearly. So anyway, they all came back next morning. My father told us that Mr. Bajp is no more, this thing and that thing and all. The story came out. What he did was he shot this lioness and she jumped in the some bushes there. Now the night time there was, and they kept waiting, trying to this thing, fired him for some more shots and all that. So they thought they must be dead. So this fellow went closer and this lioness jumped and caught him in the leg and dragged him inside and killed.
So I'm in the room alone tonight. I ordered mushroom pulao with scrambled eggs on the side so I can get more protein. Basically all I've had is like rice with some sort of like bean or mushroom. Taj Mahal tomorrow, let's fucking go. On the way! Okay.
So I still remember that very vividly.
Wow.
And his son was with us and all that. I saw that dead lioness, and this fellow also died bleeding because after that lioness took him. Nobody got off their jeeps because everybody was scared that again the lioness will come. They didn't understand what to do. But in the daylight they went. By that time he was died also, and that lioness also.
So these are the stories on Saturdays we would get together and they would tell us like all the stories, war stories.
Oh my god.
I thought you get goosebumps when you walk in here. It's unbelievable. We're lucky. She's just very overcome with emotion. Yeah, she's just overcome with emotion.
Me crying.
Oh no, you can't. It's the railway.
This reminds me of like the Washington
DC, the monument?
Yeah.
The infinity pool all the way down. And what's really gets you so emotional is that why he built it, you know?
And they went flying out of the jeep Okay, you tell us a story about your dad.
He was very fond of going for holidays. He's crazy about holidays.
Yeah.
We used to take almost about 3 to 4 holidays a year, and every time it was new adventure. As a kid, I saw so much that I've not seen as an adult. Alwar or maybe Udaipur and all nearby areas. Jim Corbett,
Jim
Nainital,
Corbett, somebody
Simla,
like that.
Kufri, so many places we went with him. Solan, and one time my mom, and he had a car with no one around in our neighborhood or any time. He was very fond of cars. That's how my brother got into automobile business. So
उस समय से कितना 10-12 बंदे आ जाते थे
So we all used to couple up, Mamaji. One time they and elder
Mamaji birthday.
We went together and a lot of times with the Una family.
Cut it up. Getting added. Yo. Okay. Yeah, definitely after dinner we should get popcorn.
My Bua. Their family used to come down from Pune and they were very fond of holidays. So we went for so many holidays with them. So one time my mom, we had an ambi, 12 people could fit in. We were kids so all stuff. So my dad's driving, my mom's sitting next to him and she says that, it's so lonely and so dark. What if an elephant comes from ahead? And right there the elephant came.
Oh my God.
And my mom said, the Hathi!
Hathi's elephant.
Oh my god.
So,
Yeah, for the ground. Oh. You're gonna want that.
Like eating a creamsicle. You can't be unhappy eating
On a swing. No, you're kind of right about that. I don't know how
comfortable that would be.
much more structural.
This is like my childhood. Maya Coastline, New Jersey. Let's go. Maya Coastline, New Jersey. Maya Coastline, New Jersey.
Come on, guys! Oh, she's too low. She's too. Come on, one more! Yes! Yes!
Don't go while doing.
she herself was
She
like,
probably said, "Oh, why you?
Yeah, your mother
doing
also
this?
extremely
Just
Yeah,
go."
Yeah, she must
He's
be
like,
the sweetest person.
his job
Most
was to
welcoming.
save up,
Never says
help
anything.
others. Always give.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Okay, guys, we got to leave. It was all great meeting you guys. Thanks for coming.
Okay, so I just got done editing this video. I just want to add something because I feel like it was kind of short because I couldn't really take my camcorder everywhere and I was also trying to be in the moment. I am using the camcorder for the first time, so sometimes I literally didn't know how to it was dying, I didn't know how to charge it and random shit. So okay, so first I just want to get out of the way that the audio that you're hearing in the background of the conversation is a conversation that was had with my family that still lived in India. We were all at the house and it was the day before we were literally leaving to go back to America. and we went to the place where my dad and my uncle grew up. My uncle was like born on the bed there, like all of the kids up until my dad, I think, were born on the same bed in that house. So has a lot of meaning. We were talking for hours, hearing stories from, you know, all the elders that are in my family. Overall, the trip was extremely life-changing, extremely eye-opening. I've wanted to go to India forever, but for all the wrong reasons. My whole life, I've felt like I'm in this sort of like purgatory where it's like a waiting room. I'm just waiting for a world to open its door and accept me. And those two, you know, worlds being my Indian side and my white side. And I've never felt fully comfortable in either. It's like you're at the doctor's office and like you're just waiting for your number to get called, waiting for your name to get called to like go in so a doctor can see you, and no one ever comes. I'm still waiting. Like, I think I'll be waiting for the rest of my life. I've always felt just like sort of stuck. Like, I'm not white enough for one side, I'm not Indian enough for another side. My whole life, people have said weird comments to me like, you're fake Indian, you haven't been to India, or like, you're whitewashed, or if you don't know the language, like if you don't speak Hindi, like you're not Indian, like, or just people like questioning if I even was Indian. I'm not really, I don't know anyone on the white side of me, so I kind of align myself more, like I identify as Indian, I don't identify as white. If you were to like ask me, like I am South Asian because I don't know anything else. Like I only know Indian stuff, Indian culture, Indian, like I only know the Indian side of me, but the stuff that I do know isn't enough. So it's like this complicated thing of like, Indian side's the only side I know, but I don't know enough about it, so I can't really consider myself Indian, and then I obviously can't consider myself white because I don't fucking know anything about my white side. So I'm just like in this weird state of like nothingness. Like I'm like, what? So I am nothing. Like what? Like I've struggled like my whole life with my identity, and I've just always felt this like emptiness, this like loss of something that I never had, or like, am I Indian? Am I less Indian because I am not as, like, because I am half white, because I don't know everything about the culture. I'm relatively pretty uneducated about it. I don't speak the language. I don't practice all of the traditions, but I do identify as Hindu, so it's like, my dad came here when he was 7, you know, so he's Americanized or whatever. So I've always felt like I was never Indian enough, and like that world never accepted me. And because I have no idea anything about my white side or my white heritage, I definitely don't feel comfortable in that space either. Like, I've dealt with like a lot of racism in my life, especially like with the high school that I went to. Just like so many microaggressions, because to white people, like, I'm brown, and it's obvious when I like step into a room full of like majority white people and I just like know I'm not welcome there, or like they don't know what to do with me because they're like, you're brown, but like you don't act like the type of brown that I think you should act like. I literally had someone tell me in high school, like, oh, like I have this friend, like she's like your kind of Indian, not like the other kind of Indian. And I was like, what other kind of Indian? Like, we're all Indian. I mean, like, she's Americanized, whitewashed, not off the boat. Like, what do you mean by that? Or like one time I had, because growing up, like all my friend groups were like pretty much white besides one friend group. I just remember wanting to be like them so bad, and I invited them over to my house, and it was for my birthday, and one of them said, I'm like really happy, like I thought your house was gonna smell and your dad was gonna have an accent, but like you're not that kind of Indian. Since then, I have literally had such a fear of smelling bad. Like I carry 2 perfumes with me at all times, and I go back into the gym locker room probably like 3 or 4 times while I'm working out just to spray myself. Like all because of like shit like that. Seeing the Taj Mahal, I just like burst into tears and like could not stop crying because for some reason that seeing the Taj Mahal for me was like, oh yeah, I'm here for a reason. I'm here because I'm Indian. I'm here because I deserve to be here, because this is my culture, because this is my heritage, because I am Hindu. Like, I am Indian. Like, that's what that moment felt like to me. And I just couldn't, like, contain myself. I was, like, crying into my dad's arms. Like, it was just, like... And I've been waiting to see the Taj Mahal my whole life, and it was, like... I finally felt like, fuck you. Fuck everyone who ever questioned if I was Indian or not. Fuck everyone who said I wasn't Indian enough. Fuck everyone who said I was whitewashed. This is me. This is where I come from. Although something interesting that I did learn is that the Taj Mahal, the only Indian thing about it is its location. The Taj Mahal was actually built by Shah Jahan, who was a Muslim emperor for his wife, and built by Muslims and all that kind of stuff. So it's actually a very Muslim monument. And also, something I learned in India, with all the monuments that I saw, and I saw a lot that I didn't record, they tie together like every single religion, like Judaism, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism. It shows just how much, and I can't describe this unless you go there and see the monuments and see all of the symbols that they have from like multiple religions and where they've all kind of like derived. Like, you start to realize how similar and how much in common every single religion has with each other. And you're like, why the fuck is there so much religious divide, or like divide because of religion, when if you look at it, they're all the fucking same. And India does it right, bro. It's like inclusive. It includes every single inspiration from every single religion in all of its, you know, historical sites and things like that. It's just like, let's be more like that. Let's be more like that. If you're interested in this, like, do your own research and whatever, but that's something that I've been thinking about a lot, is like how we are literally all just like human and the same. The divide over religion is so stupid because it's all based in like, and it's all based and comes from like the same shit. Anyway, also learned a lot about international traveling. That is a skill. The trip was not planned the best because we were literally like just in a van most of the time, more than we actually were seeing things. We were traveling more than we were seeing things, and all of the traveling and the constant moving made pretty much everyone sick. And also, majority of us, besides like a few people, got deli belly, which is, you're not supposed to drink the water in India, and you have to be careful brushing your teeth, showering. You can't eat fruit because it's, you know, or you know, fresh vegetables because they're washed in water, and certain alcoholic beverages, and like no ice and like things like that. So it's very easy to like slip up. Like, you have to brush your teeth with bottled water, like things like that. So a lot of people ended up getting like super sick and have to like stay behind, and we would have to just like carry on without them. So it was definitely an interesting experience from that perspective as well. I think I learned a lot. I think I learned that I don't think I like international travel. I don't think I'm built for it. Like, it's not something that I could like do multiple times a year, if even like once a year. All in all, it was a great experience. I've wanted to do it my whole life. I feel like I can finally be like, I'm Indian, even though I shouldn't feel that way. I'm so happy that I got to go with all of my cousins and be there with all of them. I wouldn't want it any other way. It made it so much more special. I stayed with my cousin Priya, like, literally every single night in the same room. Sisters for life. And any family, if you're watching this, I love you. And I'm so grateful for this trip and everything that I've learned and everything that I saw. And definitely is something that I will remember for the rest of my life and was so eye-opening and life-changing. Something that also I saw that was so disturbing was the enormous wealth gap. Like, we were, like, in every location we went, there was so much lack of basic necessities outside of these, like, grand monuments. Like, there would be this grand monument and, like, right outside of it is, like, tons and tons of, like, shanty towns. There was, like, lack of water, lack of shelter, lack of food for majority of everywhere I went in India. And I went to, like, what, like 6 to 10 places, and everywhere we went it was just homelessness, poverty, and right outside of these, like, gorgeous monuments or gorgeous resorts. That was deeply disturbing. Also, something deeply disturbing was the amount of smog that was in India. Being in New Delhi is equivalent to smoking 2 packs a day. I would like to do something about this, and I actually, it's so funny, in high school, my senior year, I made a business plan in which I created, like, these hydroponic farming systems in New Delhi. The environment is so poor there. It's honestly, like, heartbreaking that people live in that 24/7. Like all of my cousins, including myself, were, like, hacking up a lung, coughing, like, struggling to breathe at times. People have to live in that 24/7. So it really made me, all this to say, like, it just really put into perspective for me how privileged I am with the life that I live. The fact that I am able to have a studio in the city and access to food and safe water and an education. I'm just so grateful. Like, I don't need or want for anything. That's one thing it'll definitely make you realize is, like, third world countries, like, you have it so good. So I have it so good. Very grateful. Hope you enjoyed this video. I wish it had more to it, but honestly, like, I don't know when I'm gonna go back to India, so I just really wanted to be, like, in the moment for a lot of it. I'll see you in the next one.
He's like, his job was to save up, help others, always give.
Okay, guys, we got to leave. It was all great meeting you guys. Thanks for coming.